Can't make it to the game? We've got your back. Just go to www.IndianaSRN.org and tune in to all of the live action or go to our on-demand service and relive your favorite moments.
This is the Frells family's land. When the sun comes out, the kids run and play right there. This used to be a shed. Now, it's where they get breakfast. This is more than just land. It's home. The Frells family runs with us on a John Deere 1 Series tractor because land isn't the only thing that should live on for generations. Nothing runs like a Deere. Search John Deere 1 Series for more.
Visit Reynolds Farm Equipment, your hometown John Deere dealer today at reynoldsfarmequipment.com.
Hi!
You're good at making big announcements. We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
You want a sports degree that is beyond the game? A degree that immerses you from day one and launches you into the business side of sports. With a sports management major from IUPUI's School of Health and Human Sciences, you'll have insider access to sports professionals and will learn from faculty with years of teaching and industry experience. There isn't a better city than Indianapolis to get the experience you need to launch your sport industry career.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
Can I help you?
Yeah, I'd like to order a hamburger, fries, salt, maybe a large vanilla shake.
This is a trophy shop, can't you tell?
You got carry out?
Everything that you need we have here at the shop. Very unique. You order today, carry out tonight, that's our version of carry out.
All right, I'll take one of everything.
Oh, that may take a little longer. We'll have it for you tomorrow night.
I'll be back tomorrow to pick it up.
We'll be waiting for you.
Bertner Electric Incorporated has been proudly serving our residential and commercial customers with quality electrical repair for over 33 years. We are fully licensed and insured in electrical wiring and electrician service packages. You'll receive a competitive assessment, whether you're a homeowner or a business owner, first-time or long-time customer. We offer free estimates for any new project. Call our licensed and experienced electricians today.
You want a career that creates experiences that are impossible to forget. By studying sports and events at IUPUI, you'll get hands-on experience in and out of the classroom. And with Indy as your classroom, there are high-profile events, sports franchises, hotels, museums, and large organizations across the city to engage, educate, and enlighten your student journey before you graduate. There isn't a better city than Indianapolis to get the experience you need to prepare you to handle any event, big or small. It all starts here.
At Morales Group Staffing, we are all about building better futures. And during these times, we are working hard to put people to work. We are now hiring for hundreds of jobs with pay up to $17 an hour. Visit our website at moralesgroup.net or text JOBS, JOBS, to 317-472-7600 to apply now and get hired today.
You're good at keeping the car clean. We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
High school sports fans, welcome back to Game Time. to pure spirits, to pure sport. Welcome back to high school sports.
Fans, I'm IHSAA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back.
This is game time. This is Indiana high school sports. This is your IHSAA.
You want a career that will transform your life while you change the lives of others by helping them live well. With a health or exercise sciences degree from IUPUI School of Health and Human Sciences, you will gain an in-depth understanding of the healthcare industry while preparing you for a variety of graduate and professional programs in health. And with Indy as your classroom, you will have clinical options within leading hospitals right in our backyard, as well as a degree from Indiana University, reputable leaders in the healthcare industry. It all starts here.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
You're good at basement basketball.
We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
Mortgage Group. I've been teaching here at Guerin Catholic for 13 years. I've been assistant coach also for 13 years. And I think it's important in today's world that we have young people growing up with the morals and values of faith-based education.
Hello, I'm Dwayne Thompson with Integrity Mortgage Group, and I support Guerin Catholic High School because I'm good friends and business partners with assistant coach Tommy Mascari, and any chance I have to support a Christ-centered education for today's youth, I take advantage of that opportunity and support in any way I can with my time, effort, volunteering, funds, and commercials like these.
Together we soar. Guerin Catholic Sports on IndianaSRN,
where you're always in the game.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to an interdiocesan battle between the North and South deaneries of the Archdiocese of Indianapolis for the 68th time. Bishop Chatard, the Trojans, will take on Roncalli in basketball. It's an ancient tussle, and this one is brought to you by some wonderful sponsors here on IndianaSRN. The Morales Group, building better futures, one story at a time. Also, by Bertner Electric, your licensed and experienced electrician serving Central Indiana. IU Sports Management, a lifetime of sports with a winning degree. Piper Logistics, 3 services, 1 logistical solution. And Reynolds Farm Equipment, your hometown farm equipment dealer. So standing by, ready for you. Hello, everybody. I'm Jonathan Mathis. This is Troy Darengowski. And a big story for tonight, right from the opening. A.J. Roseman, the leading scorer for Bishop Chatard, is out. He twisted his ankle in practice a few days ago. His head coach and his father, Ken Roseman, a great authority on these matters, he said his ankle is swollen the size of a grapefruit. He's in a walking boot, and he is out for at least this week, and it's a big week for Bishop Chatard. And Troy, that is a huge absence for the Trojans.
It is. You're not only talking about the leading scorer, but you're talking about a young man who is a leader on the ball club. The other players look up to him, and it's going to be a huge loss tonight. So you not only have that to look forward to as a head coach, knowing your leading scorer is not going to play tonight, but you have to find somebody that's going to step up and also provide that scoring absence. And I'm going to be very curious to see who that's going to be tonight, because they're going to have somebody step up, and they're going to have to step up big here this evening.
And another story for Bishop Chatard is their starting lineup has seen, beyond A.J. Roseman, a major change for tonight. Here are those starters. Ben Wright, a senior forward. Number 11, Robert Davidson, Colin Guy, Carter St. John, and Wade McAllister. So, Troy, some regular starters beyond Roseman. TJ Alexander and Sylvester Williams not playing tonight, or at least not starting tonight, and that's 31.6 points per game that this Chatard team does not have facing Roncalli.
What you saw there in that graphic and those faces you saw just moments ago that are going to start tonight, only one player is averaging 7.7 points per game, and that is Davidson. The rest of these guys are everything below, and we're talking about maybe 2.9, 0.4, whatever the case may be. So that really gives you a pretty good idea. The pressure is going to be on somebody to step up. Now the question is, will the other players, we know Roseman's out tonight, but will the other players you mentioned, one of those Williams, will he play tonight? Will Alexander play tonight? Will they come off the bench? If they do, that gives them a little bit more leverage, and they got two more guys in there that can put some points on the board. If they don't play tonight, I'm going to be very curious to see what's going to happen. What is the continuity of the offense? What are they going to run? What are they going to try to do defensively? There are so many unanswered questions. They're not excuses, and I know the coach would say, listen, we don't make excuses, and he's right, but they are factors going into tonight's game.
The Trojans average over 57 points per game. It's the second highest scoring team in the Circle City. And just short, Troy, where do you find this offense? What do you do? What do you come up with?
I think you got to wait and see what happens. And the one thing you mentioned is we're going to see what happens in warm-ups for these guys and maybe get a good idea of who might be ready to play tonight, because you just don't know. But I think that goes deeper than that. You're going to have to wait till game time and see what they do on the floor and go from there.
About to step away for a few moments for a commercial break, and when we come back, we'll look at the other side of the coin, the Roncalli Royals. Here on IndianaSRN, Bishop Chatard, Roncalli for the 68th time. They'll tip it off in a few moments. Hello there, everybody, and welcome back to Bishop Chatard High School for Roncalli and Chatard. This is the final Circle City game of the season for Bishop Chatard, and they are one win away, Troy, from a share of the Circle City Conference Championship. If it's going to come tonight, they're going to have to overcome a lot of challenges, but Brebeuf Jesuit is the only other team with one loss, besides Roncalli, who has only played one Circle City game so far this season. And speaking of Roncalli, we went through the lineup alterations for Chatard. Roncalli starting their normal guys: Luke Kegaris, Caden Gore, Nolan Tunney, Alex Moll and Aiden Leffler. How do you expect Roncalli to attack Chatard this evening?
Well, you already mentioned Karagas, and he's a young man that is going to stroke the basketball. And listening to his head coach before we got on the air tonight, the one thing about him is they set up a couple of things for him in that Ritter game recently, and he took off in that game. And so they know they got to run the offense through him, and that's not a bad thing to do. Everybody's got that one guy that you can really count on, and he is that guy. They're big and physical. You know, the one thing that you hear the Chatard coach talk about, Coach Roseman, is they are football players playing basketball, and he's right. They've got some big physical guys out there. They are going to beat you up when they get an opportunity. All legal, believe me, but they're going to play a physical basketball game tonight, and I think that's going to be the case here this evening, that they're going to go in there knowing once they find out that Roseman's not playing, they're going to be very physical on the boards.
And that would be very much a surprise for head coach Michael Wantz now he probably knows. but it's going to be interesting, Troy, is you have Bishop Chatard is starting 3 players under 6 feet, or 6 feet and under. Roncalli starts 4 players who are 6'3" or taller. So size advantage very much, as you said, on Roncalli's side. But how are you going to defend if you have this team for Chatard who has a lot of inexperienced scorers? How do you want to limit them?
Well, first off, if I'm Coach Wantz, I already know that Roseman's not playing because he's probably on the bench someplace. So we already know that. So that takes that out of the equation. I would zone Chatard because I already know I'm going to have the rebounding advantage, and if I'm going to have to go against a team that's going to be smaller than me, that probably means that the Trojans have a little quicker team. But if I'm big enough, I'll play a little 2-3 zone, maybe mix it up in a little 1-3-1, keep my big guys down low, get those rebounds, and really limit Chatard to a one and done, and then get back in business offensively and get to the other end.
Luke Kegaris, you mentioned him earlier. He had a great game last time out against Cardinal Ritter. 27 points for him. That was the season high for the team for Roncalli. But another addition over the last few weeks, Aiden Leffler's returned to the starting lineup. He was the starting quarterback for Roncalli, hurt his non-throwing shoulder in the regional round matchup for the football team. And then he was rehabbing from that on his way back, and then he twisted his ankle. So he missed. This will be the 9th game of the year for Leffler. But we have someone with experience like him. That is just going to be a huge boost to this Royal offense.
Well, and he's big, too. 6'3", 215 pounds, a guy that'll get in there and bang around. And, you already know about his football background, and a guy that is very smart, good IQ when it comes to athletics overall. So don't be too surprised they don't use him a little bit tonight. If anything happens with Karagas out there and they try to slow him down, speaking of Chatard, maybe that's a second option. But he is going to be very, very good when it comes to playing down inside because of his physicality.
Roncalli, we mentioned Bishop Chatard's offensive output. The Royals average just over 49 points per game. Their problem this year has been turnovers. They're almost average 2 more turnovers per game than assists. And that has been a bugaboo and something that the Royals will have to fix going forward.
And he said, if we want to win this game tonight, the number one thing is take care of the basketball. And I see too many teams already, even this year, where they don't really treat that ball like gold. And you got to take care of every possession, because if you don't, you give the other team more possessions and more opportunities to score.
Coming up next, everybody, Bishop Chatard and Roncalli will tip it off. The Trojans looking to end a long stretch against Roncalli losing streak. The Royals looking to build upon it. We'll touch more on that in a bit. You're watching IndianaSRN.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
You want a career that creates experiences that are impossible to forget. By studying sports and events at IUPUI, you'll get hands-on experience in and out of the classroom. And with Indy as your classroom, there are high-profile events, sports franchises, hotels, museums, and large organizations across the city to engage, educate, and enlighten your student journey before you graduate. There isn't a better city than Indianapolis to get the experience you need to prepare you to handle any event, big or small. It all starts here.
This is the Frells family's land. When the sun comes out, the kids run and play right there. This used to be a shed. Now, it's where they get breakfast. This is more than just land. It's home. The Frells family runs with us on a John Deere 1 Series tractor. His land isn't the only thing that should live on for generations. Nothing runs like a Deere. Search John Deere 1 Series for more.
Visit Reynolds Farm Equipment, your hometown John Deere dealer today at reynoldsfarmequipment.com.
At Morales Group Staffing, we are all about building better futures. And during these times, we are working hard to put people to work. We are now hiring for hundreds of jobs with pay up to $17 an hour. Visit our website at moralesgroup.net or text JOBS, JOBS, to 317-472-7600 to apply now and get hired today.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
Welcome back, everybody. Roncalli just got introduced to a mixed reaction from the crowd, you could say. These two teams know each other extremely well. Head coach Michael Wantz, he was telling us earlier before the game that when you have these interdiocesan games, these players have played CYO against each other, they've played AAU against each other, they've played everything against each other, that sometimes he'll go and ask them, they'll go through their whole scouting report and then be like, all right, what do we miss? And then they'll throw something out.
Well, not only they probably have played against each other, there's probably some instances where around the city of Indianapolis they played together, so that's why they know each other so well. And, you know, I hate to use that old adage about throw the records out the window, but that does really fit games like this because of the rivalry they have together, because they know each other so well. How would you like to maybe sometime go to the mall or you're downtown and you see the team, a couple of the guys on the team just beat, and let them know you just beat them, and that's what it's all about, all in fun, of course, but it's always fun to get out there and compete and beat the other team. That's what it's here for. As
the lights flicker, we're getting ready to turn on the bright center stage light for tonight's matchup. Ben Wright, Robert Davidson, Colin Guy, Carter St. John, and Wade McAllister are the five for the Trojans. For the Royals, it's Luke Kegaris, Caden Gore, Nolan Tunney, Alex Mull, and Aiden Leffler. The recent experience, is heavily in favor of Roncalli tonight. They have their normal starting five. Bishop Chatard is down several key Trojans, at least at first blush. Robert Davidson at the jump circle is the leading active scorer, and he's been playing well of late, and they'll need him to play great tonight, Troy, as we are underway from the north side.
Well, we talked about the scoring by Chatard earlier. You take three components in the rebounding. They only average just over, 21 rebounds a game, so they got some guys out in the rebounding department as well.
Guy wraps it around, and it is mostly amoeba-like Roncalli defense is slipping through. Carter St. John couldn't get it over the rim, and an early rebound for Alex Mull.
Boy, you miss the offense already, and you miss a bunny like that. You got to hit those shots early.
Kegaris swings it around. Leffler sets it up on the outside. And now Gore. Down low, Kegaris, 6'4", has a size advantage against Ben Wright, who's 4 inches taller or smaller. And a three on the way, and good by Alex Mull. He's shooting 42% on the season, and it's 3-0 Roncalli. No answer on the other end, but the rebound by McAllister.
I was going to say at the other end, they got Kegaris in a double team, and he did a great job kicking it out to the open man.
Wade couldn't get that to go. Two missed buckets in a row for Bishop Chatard, as we will be struggling. I guess full disclosure, we have a couple technical difficulties. Folks, we'll stick with you and work it through and as we catch back up. Still 3-0. Around the bend, Guy. Now McAllister, and the question for Chatard, Troy, is where's this offense going to come from?
Well, and that's it. They're running a motion offense right now. Everything's man-to-man by Roncalli at this point. I'll be curious to see when they do slide into a zone. But right now, no one has taken charge and really taken that other shot that you're going to look for in this offense.
And maybe if you're just Bishop Chatard, the lack of shot clock is going to be a huge thing. Just you're able to milk possessions. A three-pointer made by Carter St. John ties the game up at 3, and that's going to be huge. Carter St. John with under 6 to play, a 43% three-point shooter, and he doesn't really score that much, though. Driving inside, Luke Kegaris lays it in, and so that's 5-3 Roncalli. Kegaris, the leading scorer in this game, typically he is the highest, he's the most potent offensive weapon, as Wade McAllister, only 2.9 points per game, Troy. He's able to get one inside, and it's 5-5.
Well, you like that Chatard's playing even with them early. We were wondering where the offense is coming from, and then all of a sudden you get St. John, and then you get McAllister coming back with a deuce as well. So nice job early in the offense.
And that's going to be crucial just for Chatard if they're able to keep pace with this Roncalli offense. And there's a foul by Ben Wright, shooting foul against the 6-foot senior. And that's something that Chatard really cannot afford to have happen, Troy. Not only giving Roncalli easy opportunities from the free throw line, but they can't afford the foul trouble.
Well, if you don't have the depth, and because you're missing some players, and if that's going to be the case the rest of the way, that's exactly it. You got to really play smart defensively. I wouldn't be surprised at some point you wouldn't see Chatard. If they do get into foul trouble, they'll fall back into a zone as well.
1-1, the second good, first no good by Roncalli. And now the Royals lead 6-5. We have the ball out on the other end. And first foul on Roncalli. So one foul apiece. And working it in is Colin Guy. Tries to attack right into Kegaris. And now St. John pops it out. Guy takes it inside, engulfed by Kegaris. St. John just short on the 3.
No inside presence at all that time for Chatard. Everything was 5 and out, and they really had an off-balance floor with the 3 guys on the one side, but there's no movement on the inside.
Here is Alex Mola, 3-point marksman for Roncalli. But the main guy they want to have the ball is right there. Luke Kegaris buries a 3.
Boy, left-hander. How many left-handers have you seen that are just so smooth and shoot so well? He lifts high, that 6'4" frame. That's going to be a hard one to stop.
Around the baseline, but being pushed out of bounds is Wade McAllister. I'll check that last 3 out again. Foul on Aiden Leffler. Nice touch from the outside by Kegaris. Multi-sport athlete, a lot of them between these two Catholic schools. But Kegaris, unlike Aiden Leffler, he played soccer.
Yeah.
A different football.
And great coordination. Soccer players, hand-eye coordination is probably second to none.
Davidson trapped in the corner. Guy. Ben Wright. Can he find room? Davidson tries, but is too strong on it. Great rebound by Leffler.
Yeah, not a bad move. Just got to keep your eye on the basket and finish when you get down the inside like that.
Caden Gore can't finish inside. That's wiped away by McAllister. Guy streams through everybody, but can't get the layup to go. And a back-and-forth game with Roncalli with a 4-point lead.
Yeah, a couple of shots we've seen where they've had an opportunity to get it right around the rim, and those are the opportunities that you can't afford to let get by, especially when you have so much offense out of the game.
Leffler, nice pass. And what a block from behind by Guy, even though it's a foul.
Ooh. I know that the Chatard fans don't like that call at all. They thought that was a clean block, and I'd love to see it again, see how much ball he got, but he may have gotten a little bit of arm on the way by.
That was, you see the vision from the quarterback for Roncalli, Aiden Leffler. That little pocket pass, and the first free throw is good by Gore. Interesting note, Michael Wantz told us Caden Gore, and you would know this coming up through CYO, but he would have been the quarterback for Roncalli if Aiden Leffler had gone elsewhere. Second one, no good. but then he switched to receiver, and off the Royals went on the football field, and they're playing together here tonight in basketball.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that's a nice, players do that a lot. You end up seeing a change in your lineup as the shot is nearly blocked down low, but
Ooh.
Yeah, it was a good thing by Gore that moved to receiver and still been a part of the football team.
Looks like the foul's on Tunney. Oh, Aiden Leffler, that's his second. Big foul since it's not on Tunney. Leffler, an invaluable player to Roncalli. And here's Robert Davidson, who shoots 63% on the season.
Well, I'll tell you what, and he's got some length to him as well as Davidson. You see at the free throw line, he has long arms, and he's going to be that one inside presence that Chatard's going to need tonight. And he's the one guy now, you kind of look at him, you got to keep him in the ball game because you just don't have a whole lot of size.
See the sub coming in, Michael Hegwood. Hegwood is the most experienced player for Roncalli. This is his 51st appearance as a Royal. Perfect by Davidson, and that is what Chatard will have to have tonight. Down 3, first quarter. Very much hanging with Roncalli, even though Chatard would have been the favored team coming in. Kegaris fouled by Davidson.
Well, we just mentioned Davidson. I wouldn't mind just seeing Davidson that time challenge the shot. Really don't need to go for a block right there because, again, you're looking at Kegaris, who is a 6'4", and really does a nice job straight up on his shot. Just challenge it. If he makes it, hey, great shot, and you go back and play offense.
First one missed by Kegaris. A rare miss for Luke, near 80% free throw shooter. I think what's interesting, Kegaris listed at 6'4", Davidson listed at 6'4", but Kegaris looks a little taller.
Yeah, he's a little bit bigger, yeah.
So he's either grown since they measured him or someone was exaggerating.
No, they wouldn't do that in basketball, do they?
Not at all. No athletes exaggerate their height. St. John. The quarterback for Chatard finds a man in the corner, and bearing a three is Sam Lewis.
Yeah, I like that. The wing goes down, tries to help on the drive. Good vision, saw the open guy in the corner.
Lewis was 1 for 9 before that made three, and a turnover by Roncalli. They have been sloppy all season, and a turnover here. And check this out, Troy.
Yeah, the forward didn't get out on time, and because he was going to go down and help. And that's something that Roncalli is going to have to recognize a little bit sooner, is to make sure that you're going to stay out on those wings, especially if Chatard gets hot from the outside.
The Trojans looking for their first lead. Get it. Robert Davidson, 4 points for him, and the Trojans lead.
I think we found out our answer that the offense is going to come from guys like Davidson, saw McAllister. Other guys are now stepping up early.
And off the bench, 3 by Lewis. And now Kegaris, it travels. You could have picked your poison with that. Travel up and down. This, no question about it.
Yeah, you get that defender to turn his head, and the next thing you know, that backdoor cut, and he's too late to get back, and there's no backside help either.
Davidson. The dangerous Sam Lewis. T-shirt and all, weaves his way through, finds Davidson, who hits a three. 7-point first quarter by Robert Davidson, and Chatard has a 4-point lead over Roncalli. And this matchup, Troy, looking very different than what we were talking about in the opening.
Well, they literally did the same exact thing they did on the last bucket that was hit, and they drew that man down, found a wide open. Now watch this again as you see the help come to the inside, and the next thing you know, you got the jumper from the outside.
A timeout on the floor by Roncalli, 32nd, and they needed it. They have 4 timeouts left. Serenity Care Services is an Indiana licensed service agency. We are the friendly, experienced team of caregivers you have been seeking. Call Angela today at 317-900-6202. Serenity Care Services, servicing Indianapolis and the 5 surrounding area. So Roncalli, with all their experience, Aiden Leffler on the bench is a blow to the Royals, at least in this first quarter.
Yeah.
But now they're the ones that they're going to have to rally back against Chatard.
Well, and that was a good timeout, too, because they got to make adjustments on defense and make sure that, listen, you got to play defense, and don't let these guys drive and able to bring your defense in. You got to stay out on the perimeter and keep those guys in the corners in check.
And a half-court foul on Kegaris. And Colin Guy committed it. That's his second. And the fourth on Chatard. Roncalli, by the way, shoots 68% from the free throw line as a team, although they've struggled from the line so far this game. Caden Gore shakes Lewis. Had it tipped, Hedgewood. Through the lane and traveled.
Well, that's unofficially the third turnover I have now for Roncalli here in the opening period of play. They're still within striking distance of keeping that thing around 12, 13 turnovers a game, but I think that they would like to even cut that down a little bit further, especially if Chatard continues to play in the passing lanes and get deflections. They really didn't get much into their offense that time.
Well, you would think for Roncalli, Troy, they average 13 turnovers a game, and any turnovers against a depleted Bishop Chatard Trojan team is something that's untenable for Roncalli.
Yeah, it is. And again, your emotions will be high, and you want to hold on to the basketball as much as you can. You just got to take care of it.
Hitting the brakes but missing with St. John, and that basket was wide open for him. In transition, down low, Hegwood, up and over and in.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, you miss a big opportunity again on the offensive end, and that's three now they've missed right there in striking distance.
And that was a 4-point swing in favor of Roncalli. Can they get another stop to close out the first quarter? St. John swings over to Ben Wright back into the game. And the Trojans look like they're going to be very comfortable with letting this first quarter wind down, and it's been a great first quarter for Bishop Chatard, all things considered.
Yeah, and right now, if you look at it 4 quarters, you're scoring over your average right now. You've got 15 points. I like the opening period offense.
Nice pass down low, off the glass, no good. McAllister, the patience evaporated for Chatard, and now Roncalli can tie it or take the lead.
Yeah, don't give him another chance. You start running this thing around 8 or 9 seconds, and they already know what the offense is going to be here.
The senior Hegwood. Gore, 6 seconds. Kegaris splits around them all, and off the glass, a blocking foul. How about that to tie it up? And free throws are on the way for Kegaris.
Yeah, did that little handoff. He fakes the handoff, and it was almost like faking it off to your running back and a quarterback keeper, and he took it in. Great job that time. Good execution by Roncalli. You take another look at it. He had 2 guys going right there, and he had them both faked out.
Yeah, bless his heart, Ben Wright tried. He got over there, but not early enough.
Nope.
Oh, so the bucket did not count. They counted on the floor. And I think Michael Wantz has a question about that.
Well, I certainly think he has.
Yeah, they did just count it.
Okay, I was going to say there is. I don't know how he couldn't.
I know the NBA exaggerates with the continuation, but that would have been a very conservative view of it.
Well, and that would have been unfortunate because the foul would have had to happen out here, and it happened down here as he was going up. So that was a good way to get that call in there.
That one is perfect. A 9-point first quarter by Luke Kegaris. St. John almost. At the end of one, Roncalli leads 16-15 on IndianaSRN.
Needing to hire someone to take care of your loved one when you're away? Maybe your family member just needs someone to talk to when you're not around. Why not contact Indiana licensed Serenity Care Services? Call Angela, owner of Serenity Care Services, at 317-900-6202. Our team of trained and experienced personal care providers are licensed to serve seniors requiring companion care and light housekeeping services in Indianapolis and its 5 surrounding counties. Call us today at 317-900-6202. Now hiring qualified applicants.
Good to see everybody. Welcome back. I'm Jonathan Mathis, and Troy Derengowski is next to me. And it was an interesting first quarter between Roncalli and Bishop Chatard. Historically speaking, these two teams They've now met. This is the 68th meeting between these two, which is a long time history since Roncalli only started playing basketball in the late 60s. But in that time, Bishop Chatard leads the historical matchup 36-31, though Roncalli has won 16 of the last 17 against Bishop Chatard, including last year's.
Wow.
15 of those were in a row. The Trojans won the last time on their home court, Troy, and Roncalli won last year. Now, Roncalli looking to reclaim that crown in that first quarter. It looked a little shaky for him.
Well, I'll tell you what, though, I'm really impressed the way Chatard, though, they miss some easy shots early as the ball goes out of bounds. And we won't know until the end of the game how those may affect them. But you miss 4 shots right next to the basket, and you could add another possible 8 points on the board right now. But we'll wait and see how that affects them later.
Oh, nice grab by Kagaris. He looked like the wide receiver. And here comes Chatard looking to regain the lead they just lost. And that's a foul down low on Hegwood. Interesting of note is that final frame where Bishop Chatard could have just eliminated the final 40-some seconds and then didn't. And now they're looking up at Roncalli on the scoreboard and just turned it over.
Well, sometimes, you got to play smart basketball, and if you have an opportunity to play for the last shot, not give the other team an opportunity to get the ball back, you have to do that. But I've seen a lot of games this year where players get really anxious and don't run that clock down the way they need to do that, and that cost them the points.
Gabe Horn in the game for Roncalli as the Royals run their offense with just inside or coming close, 7 minutes to go here, second quarter. Chatard steals it. Carter St. John has been a little bit of everywhere today. He hit a 3 earlier, gets a steal now. He is one of the best assist men in the state. He's called Mr. Assister by Bishop Chatard head coach Kenny Roseman, which is a wonderful mix. Roncalli gets the rebound off a missed layup. And again, Troy, the missed layups have been a huge problem for Chatard.
Yeah, that's 5 now.
Luke Kagaris buries a 3. Missed a 3. Down and out was the 3. That would have been his 12th point. He had a great first quarter. As the ball dead on the baseline.
Yeah, Kagaris missed his last 2 shots, but, realistically, though, he's getting some really good looks, and I love the way that he is straight up and down, good form, and those left-handers, again, there's something about a left-handed shooter. They're just so darn smooth, and he really fits that bill.
That was a turnover for Chatard. What's the advantage, Troy? You've been tracking this.
4 turnovers now for Roncalli, 2 turnovers for Chatard. But the 5 missed easy buckets are going to be really big.
That could haunt the dreams of Kenny Roseman and crew if they're not able to pull this game out. They're down 1. Horn a 3. Off the heel. Rebound inside. Is loose on the floor. Carter St. John. Again, he's everywhere. Steps on through, off the glass, and in.
Wow. Heck of a shot by St. John, staying on his feet first off, and then still able to get the ball up above his shoulders and score a big-time bucket.
And a timeout by Chatard. The IHSAA Foundation, subscribe to our newsletter, The Advocate, at IHSAAfoundation.org. Thanks to the IHSAA Foundation for what they are doing for our student athletes.
Not only was this impressive that he stayed on his feet, but if I'm not mistaken, he's going to split this double team right here. There it is. Whoop.
That was pretty smooth. That's what they need. That's Chatard regains the lead on that beautiful play by Carter St. John, and they're going to need, Chatard had talked about in the opening, they need to have a nice swarming defense. Typically, they have to have a swarming defense because they don't have the size advantage. But now in that first quarter, missing some players, and now they've reinstated them. Sylvester Williams and T.J. Alexander, they did come off the bench, Troy. We weren't certain. But there were a couple players who missed a bit of practice, and the suspension was short-lived.
Yeah, help them on both ends of the floor, no doubt about it.
Leffler, a 3 from the left corner.
Big guy could step out and also go to the inside.
And an offensive foul on Sylvester Williams. Sly Williams steps off the bench on the floor, runs into a man.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate because as you take a look at that 3, that's a nice-looking shot too. you want to get them down the floor a little bit. Williams picks up that early foul. No really big deal right here this early in the ball game, but certainly want to get him into the flow of the offense now. And sometimes when you sat down for 8 minutes, it's going to take a little time to get going.
2-point lead for Roncalli. Nicholas Stewart into the game. There's Kegaris. Skips it across around the bend. 3 on. Not down. Nice rebound, though. Streaking across to Stewart. Hegwood misses a 3, and the rebound goes to TJ Alexander.
And they want to push it up the floor if they can get him on the fast break. That's one thing Chatard can really do, is get down the floor a little bit quicker than Roncalli.
Far corner, TJ Ford. Alexander. St. John makes that one from Broad Ripple. 8 points for Carter St. John, and it's a 1-point Bishop Chatard lead.
Yeah, averages 5.9 and now has 8. He has stepped up, and we talked about Robert Davidson stepping up as well, and they're looking good early.
Oh, careful there. Roncalli playing dangerously, not able to get the one in the lane, but chasing it down's Hegwood. Kegaris. From the wing. Hegwood elevated. That's always a risky play. Kegaris floats it across. Leffler hit a 3 from that spot earlier, last possession, but travels. That swarming defense by Chatard, boosted by offense like this.
Yeah, this is just a great shot. Look how far he is behind the three-point line. There's nothing, and that was really good defense, too. There was a challenger right there. Sometimes you just got to say, hey, great shot. They did everything I could defensively.
We'll see how Chatard is able to battle back against Roncalli, at least keep this advantage going. Bringing those players off the bench sends the message from Ken Roseman, but didn't really hurt him that much in the first quarter.
Not at all. In fact, now you can do a little bit more defensively, and you see they were trapping a little bit, trying to force the action and even slow Roncalli down a little bit. Anything they tried to do in the full-court offense, they really couldn't do it.
Ford, the turnaround. No, he sticks with it. Rebound, Kegaris. So a little bit more size now for Chatard. So the huge advantage for Roncalli has been negated a little bit, and we'll see what the Royals are able to do. Can they work it inside? They go outside and rattle in a 3. Alex Mole's 7th point of the contest.
Hey, guys are to 6'3", Leffler. They step out, hit a 3. We saw Karagas do that earlier, though we'd expect him, but maybe not so much with Leffler and Mole, but they were able to do it.
Let's check out that 3 again. Mole shoots it well from deep, and he's shooting it well now.
Well, there was nobody there. In fact, he had a double high screen there, and nobody came out. I don't know if they just lost track of him or what the case was, but he was wide open.
A long possession for Chatard with about 3 minutes to go in this game. Crosstown, cross-city matchup, north versus south. And a foul by Roncalli on Michael Hegwood, his second. That's the fourth on Roncalli. And Hegwood, one of the key bench players for the Royals. Not as much foul trouble as Chatard has been in. They're really struggling. Roncalli will be shooting free throws next time.
Well, the good news is you mentioned Chatard earlier. With those two players able to play here in the second quarter and beyond, that really helps their depth, and they can maybe afford a little bit more in the foul department.
Williams down. Meridian has to flip it out after he had the ball poked away. Davidson kicks it up top. Alexander left it short. St. John. And he's within range. Kicks it into the corner, Davidson. Alexander. St. John. Patient is Chatard. And it's off Roncalli.
Yeah, I think that the game plan is they want to try to drive that and do what they did earlier in the first quarter, where they can drive down the lane, make those forwards step in and try to help and kick it off to an open man for a 3. But Roncalli's done a better job of staying with their man and not allowing that to happen.
Just under 2.5 minutes to play here in the first half. A game that has been close throughout. Lewis, almost the Reggie Miller catch and shoot 3. Alexander. Can't get any room.
See, good help side defense right there, too.
That one didn't have a chance, but mopping it up is Davidson for his 9th point, and we're tied at 22.
Yeah, you got to find your man, box him out, not let him get such a good look at an offensive rebound putback.
Here's Horn. Down low, Tunney scores.
Nice way to just break down that defense and force that forward to come up and help, and all of a sudden it made that look really easy.
Alexander, that one is off of Gabe Horn, but nice defense from the senior. As we take a peek back at the most recent layup.
Yeah, see, they just kind of, nobody boxed anybody out, and you got to get over there. Leffler kind of let his guy slide across the lane, and that really cost him.
And the length of Davidson, but Roncalli turns it over. Here is Davidson. Lowers his shoulder, and a foul on Davidson, his second.
You know, what causes that problem so much in basketball you see today? Nobody wants to pull up and hit that mid-range jumper, the short jumper. They either want to shoot the three or they want to take it all the way to the basket. And you got to be able to read that where that defender is, and if he's going to stay there, you just pull up and shoot it. But a lot of guys don't like doing that.
It's almost it's anathema. You don't want to take the mid-range shea. I think it's when you're open.
That's like people saying, well, I won't shoot anything off the glass. Well, it's there. I'm going to use it. And I just think it's part of the game that has really disappeared a lot.
We'll see how Tunney plays this one out. He has the big, lengthy Davidson in his way, and St. John another steal. Turnover number 7 of the game. Lewis can't capitalize.
Boy, that would have been big right there. Tied the ball game. There's another turnover.
Speaking of which, St. John.
Well, Roncalli doing the very same thing that they said they can't do. They have 8 turnovers now here in the first half.
And a way off the ball foul just after Roncalli had rotated it around. I think that's on Sylvester Williams as we take a peek back at the last layup. What a game by Carter St. John, Troy.
Yeah, and Roncalli, I think they tried to play a little bit too fast that time, and they were looking down the floor instead of really paying attention to what that defense was doing in front of them. But a great job by Carter St. John to get the steal.
So one-on-one coming up for senior Alex Mole, who shot the ball well. He has 7 points, 67% from the line, and he makes the first.
Well, he has stepped up big. I mean, you talk about his ability to go out and be a matchup problem when you're hitting threes, and a guy that's a 6'3", and has a lot of length. And we talked about Leffler as well, the way he can step out and shoot, and it does cause matchup problems for Chatard.
Makes them both. 9 points for Alex Mole. That ties him for the high water mark for Roncalli tonight with Luke Kegaris, who had 9 in the first quarter and none since.
Well, now it'll be interesting to see what Chatard does. Remember, they were in this situation at the end of the first quarter, and he ended up shooting a little bit fast and ended up costing them at the other end.
Inside 45 seconds. Stall tactics right now by Chatard. They're working around the arc of the perimeter and just not wanting to give up that possession. Maybe they learned their lesson from the first quarter, Troy.
Well, and sometimes players get a little bit anxious, and you'll hear the crowd right there is Roncalli's crowd. If you're on that side, they're going to be yelling, hey, the clock's down to 2 seconds, when you don't look up and notice it's not, and you kind of panic a little bit. But I think the smart thing is right here, try to get a shot, at least go into halftime tied.
Waiting with it is TJ Alexander, the main point guard. 8 seconds to go. He's driving down the lane. Kicks it up, out to the corner, and it's no good. Roncalli able to weather that storm. Chatard milked out the final seconds of the second quarter. And we're at halftime. So we'll step away for a little bit and come back. Bishop Chatard off the putback good is tied with Roncalli 26-26 going to halftime. You're watching IndianaSRN and Roncalli and Bishop Chatard.
Today, greed, selfish interest, and barefaced corruption seem all the fashion. America needs great men of tolerance who can give honest debate to the great issues of the day. I'm seeing mostly squabbling, men squandering their time, being wolves to one another. Yet, I'm not without hope. We still have Freemasonry. Yes, The same Freemasons that helped create this country have always provided great men when needed. And today, in every city and town in America, Freemasonry is still providing that special place where young men can find their greatness and accomplished men can give something back. Yes, in this time of great hope, it is my hope that America will see that Freemasonry is a national treasure that cannot be separated from our country's future.
You want a career that creates experiences that are impossible to forget. By studying sports and events at IUPUI, you'll get hands-on experience in and out of the classroom. And with India as your classroom, there are high-profile events, sports franchises, hotels, museums, and large organizations across the city to engage, educate, and enlighten your student journey before you graduate. There isn't a better city than Indianapolis to get the experience you need to prepare you to handle any event, big or small. It all starts here.
Hey, conductor, how about something new? You played this last year.
Come on, get your head out of your sacks.
Shh, we're trying to hear. Well, I'm sick and tired of hearing your kid play the wrong notes. Where's my kid's solo?
At least you can see your kid. Why is my kid stuck way in the back?
The conductor only plays his favorites.
I get her, not solo.
You see my kid?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Matt Wolford, president of the IHSAA Foundation, and we need your help. We need your help so the youth of our community can develop advanced leadership skills. We need your help giving high school administrators and coaches the instruction and insight they need to be better role models and teachers. To learn more or to make a tax-deductible contribution, go to IHSAAfoundation.org. You'll not only be contributing to the foundation of the IHSAA, you'll be contributing to the foundation of our community.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
Becoming a licensed sports official is a great way to make a positive difference in the community and support the over 160,000 Indiana student athletes that participate across 22 IHSAA sports. Sports officiating allows you to stay connected to the game, become a role model for our young student athletes, earn extra money, and support the patrons and communities of our IHSAA member schools. To learn more about becoming a licensed IHSAA official, log on to ihsaa.org/officials today.
This is your IHSAA. This is your state. This is your high school. This is your athletic association.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and we're here to make sure that all of this remains yours.
This is your state. This is your community. This is your IHSAA.
Welcome back, everybody. Picture frame of Bishop Chatard High School on the north side of Indianapolis. Great first half for both of these teams. Roncalli seemed to have the advantage, at least on paper, to begin the game. Darren Gowski. But then Chatard, they've really hung in there, and now they got some of their horses back. They still don't have A.J. Roseman, but tie ball game.
Well, I'll tell you what, I was impressed with the way that Chatard stayed with this game. I mean, you think about you had 3 starters out at the beginning of the ball game. You still don't have your leading scorer in as you take a look at one of the threes earlier by Roncalli. But Davidson stepped up big time, and then Carter St. John stepped up as well in the scoring department. That was huge, and I thought that the way they finished out the half was big as well, because it was Davidson who got the putback that tied the ball game to go into the locker room. I think that's big. How you finish a half and how you end a half is big. So they finished that half very, very positive for Chatard. Now on the other side, in Roncalli, Karagis did the thing we thought he was going to do. He was going to score. He was going to lead this team. Roncalli in the first half he did. Alex Moll had a nice first half as well. So from that scoring standpoint, he played very well. But I think if you're Roncalli, you're probably a little disappointed that you didn't take care of the basketball a little bit better, especially there late in that second quarter where they had a couple of big turnovers and it cost them some points. If I may say one more thing about Chatard is still 5 missed baskets that they had opportunities to score right around the hoop. And I think they'd love to say, you know what, I'd love to have that back, concentrate a little bit better, make those shots. Otherwise, you at least could have had maybe another 6 to 8, maybe 10 points in the ball game.
I think both teams, Troy, at that point, the missed layups, a big miscue for Chatard. Roncalli, 8 turnovers, on pace for 16. They've struggled turnovers lately over the course of the season, but that's something you just can't afford to have happen.
Yeah, and it's big in a game like this because possessions will be at a premium simply because each team's not taking a ton of shots. Bottom line is you really look at a 26-26 ball game, and right now Roncalli 11 rebounds, Chatard with 9 rebounds in the ball game, but those 8 turnovers are looming big. I think if they're going to win this ball game in the second half, now that Chatard is almost at full strength, you're going to have to turn the ball over no more than 4 or 5 times in the second half. And they also got out-rebounded a couple of times. They rebounded early very well, but then Chatard got some second-chance opportunities just like Davidson did there at the end of the first half. So they'll regroup. That's why you have a halftime. Go over some of the things you got to do, and then come out and make the adjustments on the floor.
And there are the Royals ready for the second half. And we've touched on this, alluded to it, but the turnover bugaboo. Darren Gowski says they only can have 4 more. Last game against Ritter, a loss. They turned over 19 times. During a 4-game stretch before that, they turned it over just 7.8 times, a little under 8. That was pretty good. And then the 3 games before that previously, really tough matchups, including Cathedral, turned over 20 times per game. And they're on pace for something similar tonight. Can they batten down the hatches? Carrying the ball right now, Carter St. John, he has been a thorn in Roncalli's side all game. And Alexander checks it back up to him.
Well, now you see a lineup that Chatard is more familiar with. They got the 2 guys who didn't start into the lineup in the second half to start here in the third quarter.
Here's Alexander. Hits the brakes up top. And Davidson able to poach it down, work the ball around Chatard. They have been able, when we talked about the opening lineup, the points that they were missing, 31.6 points per game missing from the starting lineup, as the Chatard just keeps working around the perimeter. But they were able to weather it. Ben Wright, Colin Guy, Wade McAllister, they were able to do what they needed to as they kick it back up to St. John. And Chatard very comfortable with able to let this time worn down as St. John pulls up and hits a 3. He has been on fire, and this is a career-high performance for Carter St. John. 13 points for the senior.
Boy, I tell you what, he has been huge tonight. You really can't overstate that for Chatard. And I like the way they ran the offense that time. If there wasn't something there, don't force it. Let's make Roncalli play a little more defense here. Don't get a quick shot, one and done. They did a nice job that time on offense.
Off the dead ball, Kegris. Here's Gore. And now Roncalli looking up at Chatard on the scoreboard. Gore swings it around, 3 on the way. Alex Moley's been on fire today and rattles in another.
Boy, great job coming off those screens off top, and he came down low, and somehow Chatard got a little bit lost.
Carter St. John, a little bit of heat check. Easy rebound for Tunney. Down low, an ambitious pass, and it's another turnover. Number 9.
Yeah, that's another big one right there, and we'll keep track. They only get 3 more.
We'll see. They've got a quota. They've got an allowance, and not able to cash in was Davidson.
Well, they've out-rebounded. Speaking of Roncalli, they're out-rebounding Chatard, but the thing is, you still got to take care of the basketball.
And this one just checked out of bounds. Different things have ebbed different way, and I think that's how you end up having this level game, is that Chatard struggled with fouls.
Yeah.
They struggled with the capitalizing inside. This shot is tipped, and easy pickings for Davidson. He could have fair caught it. Roncalli struggled with the turnovers, and there's a foul committed by Gore.
Well, the one thing that you'll notice when you look at the play of Alexander as well as Williams, they add quickness to your lineup and your backcourt, and I think that's a little bit lacking there for Roncalli. They have a hard time keeping those guys in front of them, and a lot of times when that happens, you end up getting the ability, as there's another turnover there for Chatard, you get the ability to break down that defense and hopefully have those guys open in the corners like they had in the first half.
Tied at 29. A trap of Kegaris. And he double dribbled. He can play all the positions. Michael Wantz is very high on him, but that's a 10th turnover by Roncalli. Got a little flustered, and this game has played very much out exactly how Chatard is needed.
Yeah, they did a nice job on that trap once again, and that's something Roncalli's not handled well. When Chatard really clamps down on that double team, they really have done a nice job forcing the turnover.
Alexander takes it up under his own strength and not able to get it in. And a turnover down low. Davidson can't capitalize, but a foul on Leffler.
Well, it's just plain carelessness when you think about Leffler. When you get that rebound, you need to turn and look, because those pesky guards are always hanging around some places. They already showed that they're going to play a little bit of either a zone trap or they're going to man-to-man from end to end, and you got to really pay attention to what's going on. That's just a really senseless turnover.
Davidson makes the first. He's been doing very well from the free throw line.
There are
3 now.
There are hustle errors and certainly even hustle turnovers, but when you just give one up like that, that is really, really tough on the head coaches. That'll drive them nuts.
Got them both. And clip the back of the rim to Rocket it down, and here's Kegaris. That trap has been tricky by Chatard. Roncalli is able to easily get through this time. Here's Tunney. Quiet day for Nolan Tunney so far. Leffler. And around the bend. Tunney. Oh, nice ball movement. And Alex Mole has 14.
Well, and I'll tell you what, Ford has got to stay with his man. He came off of Tunney, and there was no reason to, because if he stays there, the guards were playing really good defense. There was no reason for him to come off and double team.
Here's Alexander. He was taking a peek in at TJ Ford. Williams. St. John. The Trojans not really in a rush. It seems like sometimes St. John just gets a little like, I might as well try.
Well,
take it up a little bit.
And sometimes the offense gets in a little bit of it, just kind of slows down, and then they force up a shot like that. Probably not the best shot.
Nice putback by Davidson, though. That one's pretty good. 15, a new season high, career high for Robert Davidson. Breaking the pressure down low. Leffler off the glass and in. 5 for Aiden Leffler.
Yeah, the one reason I brought that up about the Trojans at the other end of the floor in that last possession is there wasn't a whole lot of movement on the offense all of a sudden, and people are kind of standing around. And I know they like to spread the floor like this, but you still have to have movement and make that defense work.
And that's been a problem a little bit for Chatard. If the strategy is going to work, you have to be really, really committed and really, really patient.
Yeah, and sometimes that's not going to happen.
And it's a foul on Roncalli, and TJ Alexander will go to the line. His 73% on the season.
You know, the way the offense is these days, and this goes for not only high school, but you see in college, a lot of offenses are so much perimeter-oriented that there's not enough movement down around the inside. And so players kind of stand out there and they watch a guy with a basketball, let him do his one-on-one thing, and nobody moves. And that really can stall an offense.
I mean, that happened as the free throws missed by Alexander in the early 2000s with the post play in the NBA, where that was the complaint. Everyone's standing around, and almost a turnover, but a foul on Alexander. And first foul on Chatard. But what would happen the complaint would be everyone just standing around and there's not any ball movement. But now it's almost the reverse, but except for it's on the perimeter.
Yeah, it's gone from almost 4 in, 1 out to 4 out, 1 in, and everybody seems to be a perimeter player. And I don't know, I guess this is the way the game has evolved now. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but a lot of times it's not really good for basketball, too much standing around.
Davidson hits a 3. Robert Davidson. Bishop Chatard was missing 16.4 points per game with an injured A.J. Roseman, and Robert Davidson is the one to step up and step up fantastically he has for the Trojans. We'll be back in a moment. You're watching IndianaSRN.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
Welcome back, everybody. Bishop Chatard leads by 4 late in the third quarter. Great shooting by Robert Davidson, who has 7 points here in the third quarter. And it's really been a 1-2 punch between him and Carter St. John for the Trojans, and that has been making up for the absence from A.J. Roseman.
Nobody was worried, were they? I mean, I think we all thought they were going to step up like that, but I'll tell you what, great job. Davidson has really proven he can put in more minutes.
And Gore is being pestered by Williams, works his way in but misses, and Davidson a rebound, and he has just been outstanding tonight.
Yeah, he's done it at both ends of the floor, and Just a really nice job here tonight. I think, I tell you what, you talk about St. John, you talk about Davidson. It was great to get Alexander back in the lineup as well to help run the show. They've just done a nice job stepping up.
3-ball corner pocket, short following it in is Ford, but he can't get the putback. Can Roncalli get an answer? Chatard is on a 4-point run. From deep, Alex Mola glancing blow, and here's the Trojans.
And now the offense not quite as efficient for Roncalli as it was in that first half, and kind of feel like maybe they forced that one.
It looks a little bit, Troy, like the first quarter as opposed to the second for Roncalli, where the first quarter was shaky for the Royals, second one better, third's been shaky. Davidson has it taken away by Hegwood, and a foul on Davidson.
Yeah, he got caught turning and making that pivot, and he brought that ball back down where you really don't want to bring it. He got tied up right there, and then he got frustrated and tried to reach back for the basketball. And you got to keep your cool right there, because bottom line is Chatard needs you in the lineup, and they'll give him a chance now to cool down.
A minute 57 to go. And that's the third foul on Davidson. And if there's any player who's made himself invaluable for Bishop Chatard tonight, Davidson is definitely one of the contenders, along with St. John. As blowing by St. John is Gabe Horn, who has his first deuce of the game.
Yeah, nice play by Horn, found the opening, and they'll have to do that the rest of the night, stay in this ball game.
Alexander looking for space. Horn stifles him. And now St. John. And here has been the approach for Bishop Chatard the last couple of quarters. Spread it and wait. Alexander, no. Rebound, Leffler. Gore. Kegaris, he's been quiet since the first quarter. Takes it in too deep. Kicks up to Tunney. Tunney, yes! Alexander hits the brakes. Here's St. John. Put everybody on skates and finds inside Wade McAllister, who has his fourth point.
Yeah, great penetration. Find your man, keep your head up, and then a little out of control at the other end. And fortunately for Roncalli, they're going to get a blocking foul of this on Ford.
That's his first. Third on Chatard. 42 seconds left, and Roncalli, they just, what they like to do, Troy, they'll piddle around a little bit and then just come roaring back at the end of the quarters.
Well, and the one thing about it, they really can't afford to have those off times, though, because their offense really isn't generating the way they did early in the ball game. As now you see another foul call here. That doesn't make the Chatard faithful very happy at all.
It's on TJ Ford. He's got a couple fouls in the last minute and sends Leffler to the line. And Leffler, 5 points tonight, 67% from the free throw line on the season. He's had a great game earlier, or late last month against New Pal. He had 26 points as he makes the first, 6 for Leffler, and that ties the game, or brings it 1 point shy, rather. Will steady himself for the second one and made them both. So we're tied at 39. Leffler coming through, and it's exactly like the first quarter. How does Chatard play this final half minute?
Well, do like they did in the second quarter when they ended up getting a shot. It didn't go in, but then Davidson was able to get a rebound, put back, run the clock down, spread the floor as they're doing right now, try to find a lane. If you have anybody come help you, you know those guards have been good at dishing it off and finding an open man on the wing. But don't start too early, though.
Kegaris given just a creeps in every once in a while to make him have to do something. 10 seconds to go. Sly Williams blows by, shot blocked. Kegaris has it with plenty of time. Men on each wing, down low, 3 up. Oh, and off the heel. At the end of 3, Roncalli and Chatard right where they started, tied 39-39.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
Welcome back to Bishop Chatard High School, everyone. Alongside Troy Derengowski, I'm Jonathan Mathis, and we have a close one. It's been close from the tip. It's been close all the way through, and it's 39-39 going to the fourth.
Well, I'll tell you what, it looks like right now it's all setting up to have one of those games going to come right down to the last few seconds, and a lot of factors are going to be played into these final 8 minutes. So let's see, we're starting really at 0-0. Let's see who's going to get the advantage early and try to at least give themselves a little bit of a cushion and maybe give themselves an opportunity to win. So here we go.
Well over 3/4 of Bishop Chatard's points have come from two players, Robert Davidson and Carter St. John. Horn scores for Roncalli. They've been a lot more balanced, Troy. But Chatard, they've been very dependent on two guys. You see them both in your screen, number 11 and number 22. Here's St. John.
Well, at the defensive end, Chatard needs to make sure no penetration that deep by your guards. You really got to cut them off, keep them to the outside.
St. John working it around inside up strong. McAllister, he has 6.
That's a nice play, using that left hand, able to use his body as well to help shield off the defender.
A 3, buried by Horn.
Boy, he is coming up big as well, and that's a huge shot there for Roncalli.
44-41.
You know, this game of basketball can be so fun.
An answer from Carter St. John.
Because of that. Guys, and all of a sudden now we got a scoring flurry going on.
It had been such a slow pace, and now it has ignited on the back-to-back threes from Gabe Horn and Carter St. John, still tied at 44. Here's the man of the moment, Gabe Horn. All 5 of Roncalli's points. He dishes it to Leffler, gets him out of the way, and hits a 3.
You know, Leffler did the right thing, got that defender in the air, just stepped under, let him go by, and then poised his feet, got his feet together, and squared up and hit the shot.
Scott Semler has the ball. Rare appearance for him. Here's St. John gracefully through the lane with touch.
Nobody's going to miss here in the fourth quarter, apparently.
It's a 1-point game. Carter St. John's career high had been 12. He's blown it away. He has 18 tonight. And it couldn't have come at a more important time. Horn wasn't looking for it, and there's another turnover by Roncalli. Williams. Semler. A 3. Carter St. John's glancing blow. The ball ends up top of the key. Stewart underhand. Horn strong.
Boy, what a way to get back on the break like that. And once you got the outlet pass and got it going, the Chatard Trojans did not get back in time.
And in 5.5 minutes, inside 5.5 minutes to go, a 3 put up by Wade McAllister. That's no good. Opportunity here to build on that lead by Roncalli. Work it around. There was a foul, though. It was a foul on Roncalli. That's their 4th of this half. Carter St. John will look to inbound it. Chatard with the ball. Always taking his time, and he's able to get it to Davidson.
Yeah, they need to get Davidson going again after that foul he committed in that third quarter. He's just kind of, well, he sat on the bench the rest of the quarter. They need to get him going offensively.
Williams. And Davidson is also, to Troy's point, playing with foul trouble. He's got 3 of them. St. John looks for him. Davidson, there he is, but he's a little long. Kegaris has it poked away by McAllister. Lowers his shoulder, and a foul is called on Aiden Leffler.
Yeah, I don't think that's a bad foul at all. First off, you gave up that rebound. You know, when a shot is, when you have a shot from a corner and it's coming toward the basket, you need to turn and find your guy, because you know if it caroms off, it's going to go long, probably toward the sideline. But we've seen that a couple of times tonight where both teams are not boxing out. They're just going after the rebound and not really finding their man.
This is a replay from earlier. Aiden Leffler able to scoot McAllister out of the way. And then you saw McAllister drew the foul on Leffler on the other end of the floor. As we have time rolling now, this is also replay from earlier. Carter St. John, he likes those deep ones.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, St. John has hit a couple of shots like that from beyond the three-point line, so you're going to have to try to, I guess, force him out a little bit further. I'm not sure how much further you can get him out because he's hitting everything tonight.
Pause on the floor. Roncalli leads Bishop Chatard 49-46.
Well, I can tell you one thing. You can't say enough about some of the play tonight. Davidson, St. John, Mole, Leffler, guys that have stepped up here tonight to really make a difference.
And we'll have a break. We'll be back in a little bit. You're watching IndianaSRN.
Burtner Electric Incorporated has been proudly serving our residential and commercial customers with quality electrical repair for over 33 years. We are fully licensed and insured in electrical wiring and electrician service packages. You'll receive a competitive assessment, whether you're a homeowner or a business owner, first-time or long-time customer. We offer free estimates for any new project. Call our licensed and experienced electricians today.
Can't make it to the game? We've got your back. Just go to www.IndianaSRN.org and tune in to all of the live action or go to our on-demand service and relive your favorite moments.
You want a career that will transform your life while you change the lives of others by helping them live well. With a health or exercise sciences degree from IUPUI School of Health and Human Sciences, you will gain an in-depth understanding of the healthcare industry while preparing you for a variety of graduate and professional programs in health. And with Indy as your classroom, you will have clinical options within leading hospitals right in our backyard, as well as a degree from Indiana University, reputable leaders in the healthcare industry. It all starts here.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Roncalli has the ball. We just missed a free throw by TJ Alexander. He's made both of them. So Chatard's closed the gap quite a bit. It's a 1-point game. Roncalli up by 1. Close to 4 minutes to go, and you see a foul on the floor, and a dejected. It was Ben Wright picked up the foul, his third.
Hell, Roncalli doing the right thing now. They're trying to take it right at Chatard, and you'd already mentioned earlier that Davidson had the 3 fouls. Now Wright has 3 fouls, and one thing, if you can get to the free throw line, get some points there, that'll be big the rest of the way.
Here's Kegaris, who's been very quiet since the first quarter. He was very loud in the first quarter, had 9 points, nothing since. Can he find a groove? This man has found one and has driven it deeper. Alex Mole has 14 points tonight. Looks down low. Hegwood, Kegaris. Roncalli having to be patient. Kegaris enforces his will, misses, but the putback is good.
Yeah, nice job by Kegaris staying with that one. Boy, that's a nice drive as well with the left hand. One thing I said earlier, the Trojans got to stop that penetration into the lane and force Roncalli to shoot it from the outside. But if they're going to do that, get out there and challenge the shot.
Williams takes on Kegaris, left the ball in the middle of the floor, an easy turnover for Roncalli. Gore had it poked away, but a foul from behind. Looks like it's on Sylvester Williams, his third.
That's a tough one there for Chatard because they really did a nice job getting back and hustling back on defense. And, tough angle there, too, when you think about where that call came from.
This is a nice bucket by Kegaris. Be persistent, young man.
I'd like to have seen St. John step in there and maybe take the charge if he could, or at least help challenge. He kind of stepped away from Kegaris right there and made it pretty much a one-on-one and able to get the offensive rebound.
Leffler down low. Kegaris, it opens up for him. And a man who had been so quiet has now scored a loud 4 points, and it's a big 5-point lead for Roncalli.
Yeah, don't be surprised if they don't go to him even more often down the stretch.
Deep one from Alexander, down and out. And the rebound is ripped away from McAllister by Leffler.
And they are winning. Speaking of Roncalli, the rebounding battle big here tonight.
Nice cut by Gore, but he wasn't able to pull off the acrobatics. In transition, quickly, Williams, a spin off the glass, no. Rebound, down low by McAllister. And they'll reset for Chatard. He went right back up and scores again. 8 points for McAllister. A big performance by him. He's averaged just under 3 points per game. And Bishop Chatard takes that timeout. IHSAA officials get involved. Become an IHSAA official by contacting Sandra Walter at ihsaa.org/officials today. Stay in shape and make some extra money. That's not bad. Training classes are starting for the spring season now. Contact Sandra Walter today at 317-846-6601. Also, Basketball Weekly, an in-depth look at Indiana high school basketball with Troy D. and Coach. That's you.
That's me.
That's every Monday on IndianaSRN.org. In the sports page, they have guests, they have upcoming schedules, and much more. Basketball Weekly. What are we looking forward to on Basketball Weekly?
I do more of the work on that show than Coach does.
I got
to get him going. But we talk basketball every week. We'll be talking regional basketball and also more boys basketball coming up next Monday.
Here's Gore and the pressure from Chatard. Roncalli taking a long time. They finally get it across. One possession game.
Now be patient right here if you're Roncalli. You have a 3-point lead. You can't hold it for 2 minutes. We know that because of this defense. But whatever you do, you still have 2 turnovers to work with. Just don't turn it over anymore.
Here's Tunney. He's going to hold it over on the wing. Patient for Roncalli and trying to work it. They're working around the perimeter. That defense for Chatard just too stingy. And Roncalli, well, what's interesting, though, Troy, is they have the time as their advantage. Down low goes Roncalli. Can they be able to get a shot up? No, they did, but they weren't able to get the bucket. And Chatard with the rebound. And a foul called. It's on Caden Gore.
Well, yeah, I think Roncalli got the shot they wanted right there because they got it down inside. Unfortunately, we're not able to deliver there. And then, of course, you have the double negative because then you come back, commit the foul, and put Chatard at the free throw line.
Good on the first.
Well, everything right now is kind of turning out the way we thought it's going to. It may come down to the last possession, the way this thing is playing out with a minute 44.
Missed the second rebound. Kegaris is able to take it away, and Roncalli does have numbers if they want it.
I just don't think they can hold it for another minute 35 or so because the guards are too good for the Trojans.
And they might lose the victory, have it snatched away that way. Tunney misses a 3-ball from the corner pocket, and St. John has the ball. And now with 80 seconds to go, Chatard could take the lead on the 3, no good. Tunney the rebound. He's being pressured from behind and at midcourt. And a timeout taken by Michael Wantz, and that was much needed. Tunney was going the wrong way.
Well, and it's a good timeout simply because now you have a minute 13. Let's set up what we want to do here because we're going to anticipate at some point when that clock gets to a certain point, if you hold on to the basketball, Chatard is going to want to foul, and you want to make sure you get the ball into the hands of your best free throw shooter this late in the ball game.
So Roncalli, best free throw shooter for them, if we went by the numbers, would be Luke Kegaris, 79%. Now, he's missed one tonight, so he hasn't been perfect.
You know, I'll tell you what, he may have missed one tonight, but I'll still put it in his hands because he's such a good shooter, and he's a guy that knows how to put points on the board. So if I'm looking for somebody to keep it in his hands, it's him because of what he can do with the basketball.
And Kegaris, number 11 in blue, he has been the man for Roncalli all season. Offensively, the junior, multi-sport athlete. He's taken the basketball team by storm, and he's coming off a career-best 27-point performance just a few days ago against Cardinal Ritter.
On the other end, now Chatard's got to decide when do we make that move to try to foul because we got to have time on the clock.
60 seconds left. Horn not pulling the trigger. He was given a lot of space, and now the pressure on Kegaris. Horn again. Down low. Foul. Mole draws the contact from Alexander.
See, that was a great possession right there because Roncalli stayed patient. They did a skip pass, skipped it back on the other side, and that got Chatard turned around, and they really didn't see where the basketball was, and that man came down low, found an opening, and now he has a chance to put 2 more points on the board.
Alex Mole, 67% on the season. He now has 15 points, matches his season high. He had 15 against Noblesville right after Christmas.
And this is a big one right here because it makes it a 2-possession game.
And he got it. 16 from Alex Mole. And Chatard, they need a lot to happen in a hurry. 50 seconds to go. Down 4.
Yeah, I like that jump right there, make him pick up the basketball.
Williams. Foul on the floor, but Chatard is in the bonus.
And that's okay because bottom line is you still have 41 seconds to go. Now, if he hits them both, it's back to a 1-possession game. Whatever you do, if he hits the first one, misses the second, Roncalli, you better rebound the basketball. There's no way anybody from a white jersey ought to be able to get in and get the ball.
Well, they do. Kegaris. Missed opportunity by Chatard. Anything would have helped.
Yeah, that
dangerous one. Williams poaches it, but misses the layup. Oh, missed layups were such a problem for Chatard in the first half. And they are again here, and almost another steal. St. John able to pounce on it. 25 seconds and running. Can Chatard be able to turn this page around? And there's a foul on Williams. That's Sylvester Williams. So right when an opportunity, here's the steal again. Just sloppy play by Roncalli, and that was a gift that Bishop Chatard could not capitalize on. 25 seconds left, clock frozen.
Yeah, we know at least 6 layups missed here tonight by Chatard. Had 5 in the first half, and that's really the first big one that they had here in the second half, and you couldn't got any easier a layup than that one right there.
Mole made 2 free throws. He's at the line here again for Roncalli. He can almost put this game away. The first is good. 17 for Alex Mole. And what a strong performance. Most of the time this season, Roncalli's leading scorer has been Kegaris, but Mole comes up big in this matchup against Chatard, their rival to the north.
Yeah, hit some big threes early and really kind of set the tone offensively, and those are 2 big free throws right there.
Huge lead now for Roncalli. Chatard, they have to pounce. Alexander misses the 3. Rebound Gore. And a foul, and it's getting a little late for Chatard. They played hard, but Roncalli's got the lead and looking to build what has been a dominant performance by Roncalli in this rivalry over the last 5-6 years.
All right, what did we say? Roncalli couldn't turn the ball over any more than, 4 times after they got it? Well, they have before, and that's been it. And they took care of the basketball, though they had that costly error late. They got fortunate when that layup was missed, but a missed free throw there, but I think it's going to be too little too late right here.
Davidson, they need to pull the trigger soon. Alexander takes the layup, and Roncalli was happy to let him have it. And a timeout on the floor. 4-point lead for Roncalli. This is kind of just a reminder for Michael Wantz. Don't turn it over, please.
Yeah, don't make it hard on yourself. It's a 2-possession game. Get it in bounds first off, and make sure your best ball handler has it right now. So don't be surprised if maybe Roncalli puts another guard in there just to make sure they have another ball handler. But once you receive, you don't even have to cross half court because they're only 8.8 seconds. You can run that thing out in the back court, but make them foul you, put you at the free throw line, and then ice it right there because there's really nothing. Chatard has to foul immediately once that ball gets in because they know they don't have any other options.
Well, we've seen some precarious decisions by Luke Kegaris so far tonight, dribbling, so maybe he's not the one to go to in this spot if you're just trying to get the ball
Well, whatever you do, you got to get the ball in and get it to the middle of the court. Don't let them trap you down in the corner or near the sideline. Get it to the middle, and always make sure you have somebody at midcourt, too, that you can outlet that pass to, get it to midcourt, and move on from there. But stay away from the corners and the sideline if you can.
8.8 seconds to go. Hegwood will be the triggerman for Roncalli.
Well, you got length there guarding on the inbound. That's Davidson with his long arms going to try to force a steal.
Took it in deep, and there's a foul on Chatard on the other end of the floor. And waving goodbye are the Roncalli student section here at Bishop Chatard.
Well, this is a big win for Roncalli. And, again, I know that you look at all the factors that Chatard had without Rosamond in the ball game. You had Alexander and Williams who did not play in the first quarter. But you know what? They were ahead at the end of the first quarter, so if I'm not mistaken, and they had an opportunity to really do some nice things here tonight. Unfortunately, you're going to look at this and go, what happened? And I think that Davidson didn't have the same second half as he did in the first half. Carter St. John did everything he could. And there were times Roncalli was ready to give this thing up. They ended up with 14 turnovers. But the nice thing was, when I said they couldn't turn it over any more than 4 more times, they did not, and it's going to prove to be maybe the difference here tonight.
10 for Gabe Horn. Chatard needs a miracle. This would help. It doesn't. Rebound on the floor. Roncalli picks it up, and Roncalli picks up the win. 58-53 here at Bishop Chatard on Wednesday night. Roncalli now 7-10 on the season, and importantly, 2-0 in the Circle City. So that moves them up the ladder a little bit. Bishop Chatard falls, loses their 4th game in a row. So we'll be back in a moment, folks. Stay tuned for the Family Source Insurance postgame show. We'll be back in a little bit. You're watching IndianaSRN.
Becoming a licensed sports official is a great way to make a positive difference in the community and support the over 160,000 Indiana student athletes that participate across 22 IHSAA sports. Sports officiating allows you to stay connected to the game, become a role model for our young student athletes, earn extra money, and support the patrons and communities of our IHSAA member schools. To learn more about becoming a licensed IHSAA official, log on to ihsaa.org/officials today.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
Welcome back, everybody. Bishop Chatard High School. Everyone filing out alongside Troy Derengowski. I'm Jonathan Mathis, and here's our upcoming slate on IndianaSRN. This was the only game tonight. Cloverdale and Greencastle. That's Tiger Cubs TV. That's us, but we work with Greencastle. They have a great facility. That's on Thursday. So the Clovers and the Tiger Cubs. Then also on Thursday, North Putnam and South Putnam, the Battle of Putnam County. That'll be coming up on IndianaSRN. On Friday, the Putnam County Championship, 4 teams. That's going to be a really interesting game with 4 teams playing against each other at the same time.
Well, they're going to play at each end of the floor. These 2 down here and these 2 down here.
They're going to lower baskets on the side.
That's right.
Crossover. Anyway, Greencastle, Cloverdale, North Putnam, and South Putnam. Little round robin for you. That's on Friday. And then also on Friday, Bishop Chatard and Park Tudor. That'll be a big game for Bishop Chatard. Got to get back on the winning track. We've now lost 4 straight after winning 13 to begin the season. Cathedral looms after that. That's on Friday. Also on Friday, Roncalli and Heritage Christian. That is a huge game for Roncalli. Heritage Christian really scuttled this year. Just not. You thought going in with Miles Colvin that Heritage Christian was going to be a firepower, like playing with or cooking with gas, and that has not really been the case.
You know, sometimes as good as he is, I always believe he ought to be averaging about 30 per game, and he's not even averaging 20. It's no knock against him. I just sometimes think he takes a little time off and he lets other guys get involved, and I really like to see him take over that ball club.
Yeah, so we'll see Roncalli on the winning ways. They're 7-10 now. Bishop Chatard is 13-4. And we'll be back in a bit. You're watching IndianaSRN.
I'm Keith Myers, Vice President of IndianaSRN. Thanks for joining us. Do you know IndianaSRN broadcasts 350 games a year? All sorts of sports? Yeah, we do. Hard to believe, isn't it? IndianaSRN loves to put student athletes first on our website. If you're a business out there, we probably could help you too. Contact us at coach@indianasrn.org. Grandma from out of state thanks you. Mom and Dad who can't get to the game thanks you as well. In fact, our athletes watch the games over and over again. Our military has enjoyed the games as well. So sit back and enjoy the game. It's IndianaSRN.
They say nice guys don't finish first. So maybe it's time to reconsider what it means to be first.
It's about being your best, but knowing you could be even better.
It's being present, but respectful of history.
You sure you want to make that move?
It's donating something more valuable than money.
It's believing in yourself and something bigger.
It's coming from different families, but treating each other like brothers.
It's not just being a man, it's being a Mason.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
Welcome back for the final time to Bishop Chatard High School alongside Troy. I'm Jonathan. We were talking about player of the game, and this was a consensus decision.
Yeah, I tell you what, Alex Moll really played well tonight. You know, he also finished strong down the stretch with some big free throws, but offensively played very well early, stepped out, hit some big threes, and just kind of set the tone offensively for Roncalli. And, you know, he's the player of the game, but you had a lot of guys step up, and Kagera stepped up. You look at Leffler, he stepped up as well. You had Horn hit some big shots for Roncalli, but I think what they did the best is again, they out-rebounded Chatard by 9 unofficially here tonight. That was big. And then number 2, they took care of the basketball. They are on track to turn it over 20-plus. They finished unofficially with 14. They stopped when we told them they had to. They ended up winning the ball game. So they made you and I look pretty good.
They did. And we thank you for joining us, being a part of this broadcast. Roncalli beats Chatard 58-53 on a Wednesday evening in Indianapolis. That'll do it for us. Thanks for joining us, everybody. I'm Jonathan. That's Troy. So long from Bishop Chatard High School. You have been watching IndianaSRN.